All right, so we're 2025, and one of the main questions I get every single day with our clients and with prospects are, how do you get more clients? How do you get more leads? How do you get more traffic? How can we grow our business sustainably or through the roof, getting to 7 figures plus and getting more ideal clients that we love to work with and that we want to work with? So I'm going to take you through the 15 worst ways to get traffic and clients and the 15 best ways to get traffic and clients. And I'm going to go through each one and also give you something that you could be doing instead to improve your chances of working with your dream client. So without further ado, let me take you right into it. All right, so I marked this out a little bit already, and we're just gonna open up the first one, which to no surprise shows us LinkedIn DM. And I specifically wrote spam to it because you're probably aware of all of these messages in your inbox every day. They connect with you, and the first thing they do is they pitch their product, their idea. Hey, I want to waste your time, hop on a call. I want to figure out if this is a fit, and you're absolutely not interested. Now, it could even be a good product. Honestly, there's people that are messaging me on a daily basis that might even be cool to talk to or might even have a product. But it's such a turnoff to get that message right in your face a minute after you've connected, even if they tried to use AI to somewhat personalize it when they first spoke to you, that you just do not want to respond. In fact, I started deleting these people and getting them out of my LinkedIn again. What should you do instead? Using automation to connect with people is an absolutely brilliant idea. So you can connect with people that you think are the right fit, CEOs in your area, or whatever your target ideal customer is. Connect with them, regularly post good quality content about how you help your target avatar achieve great stuff. Post that continuously on LinkedIn and let them reach out to you, and maybe just reach out with an interesting or curious message. Hey, was great to connect. I'd love to know more about what's keeping you busy right now, or how we could potentially connect or follow along and figure out synergies, and see if down the line there's a conversation which sparks interest and that gets to that sales conversation that you were looking for in the first place. All right, so number 2, running a blog. We're 2025, guys. So there's over 600 million blogs out there right now, and there's over 2 million blog posts that are being published every day. The funny thing that has been happening in the past couple of years, or the past couple of months now since ChatGPT, is everyone is trying to hack the system by creating AI blog content, and they think it's gonna get them somewhere. And believe it or not, some of you are being successful, right? It's working for a second and until it's not. So if you want to be successful in 2025, creating a blog might not always get you there. What should you do instead? Content on the internet is not going away. Maybe people are watching some more video, maybe people are hanging out on Pinterest, but there always will be content out there on the internet for you or for some kind of AI to consume. So if you're putting out original, well thought through, well-written content that people are actually interested in reading, that is a great source to get more traffic, get more leads. In combination with backlinks, that still works really well. Takes a little bit of time, takes probably more money than you expect, but will definitely get you there. All right, banner ads. This one we can do quickly. Again, it's 2025. We're all sick of ads, especially the ones popping up left and right of your screen everywhere on the page. Banner ads can be useful to do a little bit of retargeting with platforms like Taboola or others that help you retarget people that have been to your website. But again, it's not a strategy that I would use out of the gate to get more clients. Posting flyers on random polls. I know we're talking about digital marketing, but you probably don't want to be posting any flyers digitally in some kind of forums or physically, because it just doesn't allow you the form of leverage that you can have on other platforms out there as well. For those of you familiar with journalism and backlinks on the internet, Harrow is probably a big name, which stands for Help a Reporter Out. They recently just shut down this tool at the end of 2024 because they tried to create a paid subscription out of it and it didn't really work out the way they wanted to. I guess they didn't get enough members to it. So how can you do Harrow today, and does it still work? There's a couple of other platforms that are usually asking for subscriptions around 100 to 300, sometimes thousands of dollars to really deeply connect with journalists and really take your PR game to the next level. I think if you consider the backlinks that you receive from this form of outreach, if you do it seriously and you spend time getting these backlinks, it is 100% worth it to pay a couple $100s to get this journalist outreach and to get your thought leadership opinion out there. However, it's not going to be with Harrow anymore. Buying followers. This is a great one. Followers usually equals to social proof, right? So if you see someone with thousands of followers or millions of followers or hundreds of thousands of followers, then you think, if this person has so many followers, then I must trust them or believe them or buy their offer. The problem with buying followers is not just that sometimes your accounts get banned or shut down, but the main problem is that all of these followers are completely useless to all of the marketing that you're doing. In 2025, it will be so easy to grow your following quickly by posting quality content and by being consistent, and you're attracting the people that are actually interested in viewing your content. So buying followers is completely contrary, except for establishing that social proof for people that look you up. It does exactly the opposite. So what do you want to do instead? You want to post consistent, regular content, which is to your target audience. So talking about what you do best to help your ideal customer, educational content, or if you want funny content, which is very top of funnel to attract those natural followers. It doesn't matter if you only have a couple hundred followers or a couple thousand. Even a couple hundred followers with followers that are actually watching your stuff and interested in what you do is better than having thousands of followers that are just fake or bots. This is a good one. So there's a bunch of trends on social media today that talk about engage from the bottom up and like for follow and follow for, and all of these other trends. And sometimes they work, right? You get more followers and you get more likes, and these people engage with each other, which is not a bad thing, not something bad per se. However, when you follow these trends, you connect with people that are doing these trends. So usually other broke people or businesses that don't know how to get clients or how to get their ideal prospects into their business and are just fooling around following these trends. So that means these become your followers, and the algorithms think that you're looking for more of these people. So generally you want to avoid that. It's not a bad thing to follow a trend here and there and add onto with your valuable content or what you have to say about this trend. Like, for example, engaging on social media is not a bad thing. You should engage with all of the videos that are interesting to you, that are somehow tied to what you do and your audience and your clients and what you talk about. But just engaging for the sake of the trend and to get more likes or followers from those people that will follow you back is probably not the best thing. Pop-up ads. This one is great. We all hate it, right? User experience on the website. As we go into 2025, everything's more mobile. People are 60, 70% are coming on their phones. They don't want complicated pop-up ads or things popping up on your screen that you cannot exit out of, that you need to click and fill out. You want to have a simple and clear information that you can follow, that you can get in touch with, and you don't want it to be complicated and annoying and in your face. So no pop-up ads, easy landing pages that explain clearly what you're looking for. Number 9, referral programs that don't actually drive traffic. This is a really good one. I think there's thousands of methods out there that are being promoted that do not actually drive traffic. So having a newsletter doesn't actually drive traffic in the first place. It engages your current audience and maybe gets them over the line to buy or to opt into another product of yours. But initially, it doesn't drive traffic. What drives traffic to your newsletter, to your landing page, to your sign up, that is content, organic content on TikTok, on Instagram, or ads. That drives traffic. But having a newsletter or a referral program without any clients in the first place doesn't drive traffic. If you have hundreds of clients, in which case you might not be watching this video, then having a referral program in place for these clients that are happy with your service is great to get more clients. But if you don't, this is probably not the right thing to drive traffic in the first place. Email blasts. So everyone is talking about cold email and email using AI, and we're going to get into that point later down the road. But sending out thousands of emails to people without personalization just doesn't work. It doesn't work. You get banned, you get blacklisted, your emails will not go out, will not be delivered. It doesn't work anymore in 2025. What does work is going after a very, very, very specific target market, target audience, your ICP, and being very personalized with your emails. You can do so for very small groups without AI. Sometimes you can do so using a little bit of AI for certain things, not too much, which will be really, really, really useful and gets great results. We already had running a blog earlier in the video. This goes into the same topic. Any form of AI blogging, programmatic blogging, or just putting out spammy content out there that isn't really useful to anyone, isn't unique or new to anyone either, is not going to make you successful and is not going to get you the clients that you're looking for in 2025. Same goes for all other outdated SEO tactics like keyword stuffing or link farms or buying backlinks on Fiverr from some guy that is selling you that has hundreds of backlinks. Google is really looking for quality over quantity. And we've seen that so many websites that just get links from other sites that are not really useful and not really valuable don't really work, don't really create any impact, and don't increase your rankings in any kind of way. Newsletters, we had this one before. They should not be your only source of traffic or your only source of converting your list. There's hundreds of ways of engaging your audience beside the newsletter, such as creating content on Instagram, on YouTube, wherever your clients hang out, or it can be also via SMS marketing or within chat, depending on who your clients are and what they're looking for. And with 14 and 15, we're getting into the automated social media posting. Everything we talked about, AI is a great tool, and AI is not going anywhere. In fact, it's helping us do our jobs better, do our jobs faster. But at the same time, we're also getting a little bit tired of AI, and we're getting sick and fed up of automated social media posts that always sound the same, getting sick of automated DMs and AI DMs that always sound the same. So this is all gonna get less and less attention, and people are gonna give more attention to more personalization and human written content in this whole sea of automation. So sometimes writing a post that is clearly not using AI and very human written will get way more attention than just using AI or just automated posting and automated DMs. All right, so with that, I want to get into the fun stuff. Which methods actually work and which methods are going to work in 2025 and will actually get you clients. We're going to start with something that you haven't maybe heard that much before. Some companies pay thousands and thousands of dollars each and every day to have people in forums like Reddit and Quora sit around and answer comments and be helpful to different topics that are related to their market and to their niche and to their products. So leveraging this, even if it's just on your own, where you have an account, where you talk about and answer questions and go into threads that are related to your target audience, can be super helpful. If you don't know yet, ChatGPT and other companies like OpenAI and others are using Reddit data to train their models, right? So sometimes adding helpful content in these forums will help you be featured in AI language models like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and others. So this can be really, really useful if you're not using it yet. And while the whole world is talking about SEO dying, people not really using Google that much anymore, and Google using AI so that people don't even need to end up on your website anymore, local SEO is not. We still search for restaurants on Google. We still search for services on Google. And Google My Business listings and local SEO, like making sure your positioning, your address, your backlinks are in place and you show up for local search terms, is here to stay and is highly relevant. This information is also being used by all the language models. So even if you use ChatGPT or other services to find services, restaurants, something like that near you, it will use this information from Google and Bing and the like. All right, this one's a cool one. Leveraging emerging platforms like Threads, X, Blue Sky. Now, there's a lot of controversy around on X, Elon Musk, some people leaving platforms and building other platforms. There's this new platform, Blue Sky, or Instagram comes up with Threads. Now, independently how you feel about these people like Elon Musk or other people creating new platforms, leveraging a new platform to go out there that potentially doesn't have that many people yet on it will always be beneficial, because a lot of this content is heavily being pushed in order to give you more reach, right? It's not saturated with ads. Sometimes it doesn't even have an ad platform running yet. And it's basically free running ground to just meet new people, to socialize and to connect and to also get reach, right? Get new clients. So if you do have time, leverage these new platforms to find clients and to be social. So starting with 4, we're getting into the juicy stuff. You probably know short form content is completely taking over 2024, 2023, and now 2025 is going to go even more crazy. People want video. People want to see you. They want to connect with you before they buy. They want to connect with brands. They want to have this personal human touch before they get into these conversations. Leveraging short form content like TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, or any platform is really going to take you to 7 figures in 2025. Facebook groups. And I hear what you're saying. You're probably asking, why wasn't this in the other 15 when you were talking about outdated methods? Facebook may seem outdated because it seems like everyone now went to Instagram or to new platforms like TikTok or Threads, X, whatever. However, Facebook groups are still very powerful for the people that use them. There's a couple of people that are engaging in these groups and are leveraging them very well. So knowing which groups to join and potentially being part of groups that are very active and sharing advice and whatnot in their specific niche can be very beneficial. Again, you want to watch out to not join a group and immediately spam the group with your AI message, but rather come in, feel the waters, and start maybe copying a couple other posts that are valuable, not copying one-on-one, but using other posts as inspiration on what people are looking for in that group and establishing a little bit of a voice before you dive into any kind of sales conversations or being more direct with your language. That always helps. Now, you've probably noticed that 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4 results on Google, the initial results at the top and at the bottom, are ads, right? So leveraging ads on Google does get results, and many businesses rely on it, which never is a good thing if it's your only source of traffic, to get more clients and to scale. People click the ads at the top, including myself, if it's relevant and useful. And this is where it comes in again. You want to, when you're advertising, be very clear who you're speaking to, and then be very clear on how they take a next step. Running a Google ad and just bringing someone to your website is not going to do the trick. It's going to waste your money, and people are going to be annoyed because they click on it and then they got to look for how to contact you. Right? So if I'm looking for a particular service, like a plumbing solution within the next 24 hours for my apartment, and I Google plumbing services near me, then I want to have an immediate way on how to contact you or guidance on what will happen next. I don't want to look on your website to find somewhere your phone number buried in your contact page, but I want to have a very clear landing page. Hey, these are our services 24/7. This is the number where you call us, or click here to get an emergency plumber to come to your home right away, fill out your address, and he will be there within the next 3 hours, right? So that's what I want. It's the same for products or services that you advertise with Google Ads. You want to have a very, very clear path to that goal. So if you're looking for a lead, the lead needs to be able to convert within that process within one page. If you're looking for a sale or for a phone call, you always need to optimize for that one goal. What works on Google also works on Meta or Facebook and Instagram. Running Facebook and Instagram ads, again, might seem like an outdated platform, might seem like people are not using it that often anymore. But believe me when I say, there's a lot of businesses, thousands of businesses that rely on Facebook, on Meta ads to get more clients and to scale their business and to get in consistent leads and clients over time. It does work. There's a lot more information to it than just going out there and boosting an Instagram post. But if you do it correctly, you do the right creatives, you focus on video, focus on your target ideal customer, you will get results, and you will be able to get results profitably, and you'll be able to leverage this to spend more money on these platforms in order to acquire more customers. In the age of digital marketing and AI, where everything's online, everyone's watching videos and Zoom calls and whatnot, hosting or speaking at live events will solidify that credibility that you don't get elsewhere. So you can leverage digital marketing tools to search for these events, to reach out to these people, for example, via email, to get these positions to speak at these events, which will help you take your brand to the next level and potentially get more clients and more traffic to all of the sources that you're already marketing and advertising on. Warm DMs. Before we spoke about cold DMs, automated DMs, AI DMs, which are not a good solution. Warm DMs, if you're introducing other people or other people are introducing you, it's always a good source to get in more leads. This can also be a DM to someone where you're not talking about sales, but you're like, hey, I saw you at that event, love to connect, where you strike up a conversation without diving into your pitch immediately. Along with warm DMs comes building a personal brand on social media. Everything that's happening right now on the internet is more and more focused on founder-led content. And it doesn't mean that you need to found a company and become a founder. It just means that people want a face to the product or brand that they're buying. So if this is a service, if you are an architect or a designer, or if you're selling an e-commerce product, people want to know who you are. And it can be that you're an employee in the company. So even a personal brand for employees will be way more valuable. You'll have more room to negotiate your salary. You'll have more power within the organization because you have a following, and a following is always useful if you talk about the business that you work for, that you're part of, or potentially that you own. So having a personal brand is never going to be wrong for whatever you do online. And this can tie hand in hand in what you're doing for your company. So you can talk about your personal stuff in parallel to when you're promoting your company. You don't need to get caught up about different accounts. Do I do this on my personal or company account if it is your own business? If it isn't your own business, you're obviously going to use your personal account and you're going to talk about what you do. Now, obviously, you want to be careful to not talk bad things about or controversial things if you're in a corporate environment, which I'm not going to promote that here. But if you're looking to grow your personal brand, doing that on social media will always get you more clients and will get you more traffic. Strategic email marketing. We spoke a little bit about email blasts earlier, which wasn't a good method. So how can you use email to your advantage? There's many tools today. And again, if you go down this rabbit hole, it might get a little bit more complicated. You'll need to use something like SmartLead or like Clay to scratch together the different data sources that you want. But there's a lot of opportunity. What you should not do is go and buy some kind of outdated email list. You always want to go get together fresh data from tools like Clay. I'm not going to put any names out there on the data providers that exist, but you always want to make sure that you, from these data providers, that you verify these email addresses before you put them into some kind of sending tool and you start using this data. We also spoke about the DM strategy that will really take you to the next level, right? Which is not sending a direct sales pitch. All right, number 12. New DM strategy. So what does that mean? We talked about DMs that you shouldn't do before, like on LinkedIn or on Instagram. So what should you do instead? And here's the tricky part is when you're doing outreach, like cold outreach to potential new clients and prospects, you don't want to use a spammy form of outreach or a spammy form of DM, even if you're using AI. However, if you're getting inbound leads, you want to use AI to qualify these leads, right? So if you're running an ad, or if you do a lot of content that you know, where you have at the end of the content, you have a call to action, like comment, send it to me for more information, where you add a call to action at the end of your content. Potentially, if this goes viral, you will have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads, so many that you don't have enough time to go and message each and every single one of them your free guide or your information, or help them communicate with you to then book a call where they can get more serious information about you and your business. So if you're doing this, which by the way works really well for some of our clients, they're getting hundreds and hundreds of leads sometimes off one single post. You want to leverage this strategy, and you want to leverage tools like AI. You can leverage tools, I will link one below in the description, that we use for ourselves and our clients, or you can leverage tools like ManyChat and others to help you automate your messaging and help you leverage AI to get back to more people when this is happening inbound. All right, so controversial or trending topics. This is a fun one. If you're not in corporate and you're trying to market your personal brand or your business, hopping onto topics that don't necessarily resonate with you or that aren't the perfect match for your type of content can get you very far and can be very successful in getting you more reach, getting more people to know that you exist, and getting more people to buy from you. As you probably know, there's a saying that says there's no bad PR, there's only good PR, there's only PR, right? So the more people know that you exist, aka the more views, the more followers, the more people know your name, the more people can also buy from you, or the more people you can help, right? So leveraging controversial trending topics with, we call it trend jacking, authority jacking, or whatever you want, can really get you a lot of reach. And sometimes you need to step outside of your comfort zone, outside of your ego, to do something that you wouldn't normally do, like misspelling something or talking about a topic that you would not talk about because it's controversial or a little political or a little this or that. But this is what people like, and this is what people like to comment on and like to talk about, and this is what works super well on social media platforms. We talked about blogging and guest blogging and all these outdated ways of using content. Here's one way to use content that can get you really successful and could get you a lot of traffic and a lot of clients in 2025. And it's guest podcasting. So one of them is doing your own podcast, which can be very beneficial to you and your business. Another one is hopping on other people's podcasts. If you've already started thinking about doing your own podcast, you probably know that you're looking for people to interview, or you're looking to people to talk to about these interesting conversations. So the same goes for everyone else out there running a podcast. They're always looking for interesting people to talk to about their topics. So you got to find these people, reach out to them. Maybe don't start with the biggest, right? That already have a very, very big audience and successful podcast like Chris Williamson or Stephen Bartlett or Alex Hormozy, but maybe start somewhere in the lower tiers where they have a podcast that they've been doing consistent episodes with people within your area or niche or somewhat related to what you do. Reach out to them and potentially hop on their pod. Sometimes it might even make sense to pay something. I have never done this before, but maybe if this helps you with your reach and your social and your following, this can also get you potential clients, recognition, and authority. We spoke about this one earlier, all the way at the beginning, right? Using niche forums. Quora is the same thing, right? Many people go to Quora to answer questions and to ask questions, and people like also AI, large language models, go there as well to find information which they use to train their language models. So leveraging Quora to talk about your business or to answer questions around how your company or your methods help your ideal client reach their ideal outcome or help them solve their challenges and make their dreams come true isn't a bad thing to do in 2025. All right, then I got a quick bonus one. Many of you might have heard focus on one platform, do something very, very well, which is not wrong, right? If you're doing social media and you're focusing on Instagram or you're focusing on YouTube, is great. If you're doing short form content, for example, for YouTube Shorts, post it on every platform. There's really nothing to lose. Every platform is a little bit different, and you'll have many people out there telling you to only post TikTok related content on TikTok, and it's different. But finally, if you can, and you have some form of scheduling tool and you do short form content, just post it on all platforms until you reach that size and that budget where you can afford to do different kinds of videos for different platforms. But until then, even if you're not making it specifically for that platform, you're gonna get results, views, likes, shares, and it works even so with one piece of content across the platforms. So with that being said, I hope these strategies help you get more clients in 2025. Below, I will link all of the resources that you need to hit the ground running, that you can leverage these tools. Don't forget to subscribe. So I'm gonna go through all of these strategies in detail. And in the next videos, I'm gonna share exactly how you can leverage some of these methods to get more traffic and more clients through the door. In fact, there's probably already a video right up here that you can just click right now. I will show you exactly how to dive deeply into one of these strategies. See you on the next one.